Hello, everyone. My name is Ezekiel Jordan, and today we're going to be interviewing Mike Kickirillo, Texas State alum and San Antonio Spurs broadcasting director. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell me a little something about yourself?
Let's see. I've been with the Spurs since 1990. In my current role, I'm the Senior Director of Broadcasting, which means I oversee everything that hits the broadcast. So whether it's on TV or radio, I actually direct the games that you see on TV. I hire the announcers, get all the logistics handled, work on future technology, strategies for the organization, a little bit of everything.
Most definitely. So while you were in college, was that sort of a thing that you knew you wanted to do, or was that kind of something that just...
It just kind of happened.
Okay.
When I was in school, my primary goal was to be some sort of broadcast talent, whether it was as a play-by-play guy or a sports anchor. And so when I graduated, I still had that in mind, but I'd been hired while I was in school at Channel 12 in San Antonio, KSAT, as a producer. And I was still sending demo tapes out and trying to get jobs. And along the way, through my work relationship with the Spurs through KSAT, I got to know their people, and they started talking to me about me coming over to the Spurs. And the same day that I got offered the job by the Spurs, I got offered a job as a weekend sportscaster in Lubbock.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
And I had to make a choice. And the choice was, do I do something that I know that I could do, and live in San Antonio, a great city, and do that, or do I do something that I'm not so sure I'm really good at, as an anchor, working weekends in Lubbock? I mean, not that Lubbock's a bad spot to be, but
not San Antonio.
Yeah. So I really had to evaluate it and just be real with myself and just kind of understand where my strengths were. And 30 years later, I think I made the right decision.
I think so too. Meeting guys like Tim Duncan, I bet you did. But so if you had to say, do you think Texas State kind of prepared you to go into that realm, either or, if it was an anchor or doing what you're doing now?
100%. The reason why I'm here today is because of the education and the experiences that I got it was Southwest Texas at the time. But at Texas State, just to be able to have the hands-on, it was a great faculty that really knew how to connect with the students and teach them and put them in practical situations. They were real with us. They were critical when they needed to be and loving when they needed to be. And then, we had wonderful classmates as well, who we all pushed each other and rooted for each other, and were in competition as well. So the whole environment, the whole system, the whole journalism and communications department really played a huge role in getting me to where I am.
Okay, that sounds great. That's awesome. And saying what you said back then with Southwest Texas, a lot has changed, in the broadcasting world and, in the School of Journalism and Mass Comm. So have you kind of seen a lot of those changes in the industry dating back to then to now? And how they kind of evolved?
You'd be laughing at what we used to do. I mean, to edit audio, you would use a reel-to-reel audio tape and actually use an X-Acto knife and splicing tape to make your edits.
Goodness gracious, it's like the little tapes, right? The little tape.
Yeah, there's a little gauge, and you used your X-Acto knife, and you had to, then re-spool it and then listen to see if you got the edit right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was actual physical, hands-on, very analog, when I first started. Lots of tape to deal with. On the TV side, it went from being a 1-inch reel down to 3/4 inch, and then down to beta. And
Wow.
yeah, and we went to the digital revolution. Everything is done on a computer now.
Yep. Phone sometimes too.
Yeah, if you did a bad edit with video, to go back and recover the edit was
Probably a nightmare.
it was a nightmare. You really had to, because there was no timeline to go into and just pull a clip out and move it over. It was already cemented onto the tape. So you had to get really creative, especially like if you had to dissolve. If you had like hard cuts in your edit, then you can time your edit to fit back into that spot. But if there are any dissolves, oh my goodness, going back and fixing that was just an absolute nightmare.
Oh man, I bet.
Yeah, and then when I got into the live TV event business, the replays that we were doing, they were still on 1-inch tape, and the guy sometimes to do the replay would spool the both reels back and forth, and that was the way some replays were done. And now, we just have a little controller that
take care of it.
It's like a remote control almost for a DVR. So so much of it has changed. To take you how far back, when I started, we were on typewriters.
Oh man.
Yeah. No computers, or very few computers, and no internet either, as well. So internet really started to be a part of what we did starting in about 95.
Okay.
And I graduated from college in 88. So, there was some window there where things stayed really analog.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually crazy, because thinking about this summer, I actually ended up watching the little Michael Jordan documentary. And so that's around that timeline. And if you go back, you can see a lot of footage being taken of Michael Jordan. And I'm sure you've been there to record Jordan in those Bulls games. So like it's like you've kind of been in every point of the broadcasting spectrum. So yeah, from where did you start to basically like how to directing? How did that process go?
Time, patience.
Yeah.
Asking questions, being around at all times, and being respectful of the people that had experience in the business, and just kind of watching and learning from them, thinking ahead, trying to figure out how you could help out in what they're doing without even being told.
Yeah.
So, pretty much asserting yourself and owning the situation that I was in along the way really helped.
Okay. Yeah, and that seems pretty good, because I see you on like K-Staff for 2 years. So it sounds like you learned a lot in those 2 years and support you had of college to get you ready for that Spurs gig that you're still at right now.
Right. Yeah. Those 2 years were fantastic, because it was working under a deadline. The 6 o'clock news or 6:20 when sports hit, that's not stopping. That's going to happen. So you better
every day
be prepared, better be ready. Yeah. And you also learn how to make adjustments too. So, but I had, touched pretty much everything there, writing scripts, editing video, working under deadlines, being able to communicate with a bunch of other people too, because it's just not yourself. There's a whole team of other people that are involved in any sort of production. So, building those relationships and being able to communicate on the fly, learned all of that. And it's every day, every single day of the week, there's some sort of newscast. And multiple times a day, most of the time. So it wasn't that I worked on all those broadcasts, but it was just a machine. And, I was able to learn a ton during that time there at the local station.
That's good. That's really good. As myself, I'm actually a public relations major, but, it's still in that realm, mass communications and the School of Journalism. So, for my fellow classmates that are in broadcast or when you want to go into broadcast, is there anything that you can tell them, because anything from you will be in this round?
Well, it's relationships, and I think that goes for any job, whether it's broadcasting or PR, advertising. It's the relationships that you make that will open the door for you down the road. So get yourself out there, get exposed, do internships, but also at the same time, always be aware of what's available to you on campus. Utilizing the campus facilities and programs, clubs, all that is going to help you understand and learn, experiment and fail. And a lot of people have their eye on the prize, but you got to put in the work on the backside of it too. So it doesn't matter which discipline you're in, to get those reps and be able to work with your professors. That's what they're there for, to help you out. And then you create a bond with your classmates as well along the way. So all that then leading up to internships, and just getting to know people. And, again, like I said earlier, if you own it and not just show up, then you're all the better for it. And that's key to success for, so many different businesses.
Oh, definitely. That's awesome. Yeah, actually, I had a teacher in high school. She always told me it's not about what, it's about who you know. So that's one of the main things that she told me going into college. Make sure you get your work done. Get everything done. But at the same time, network. Meet people, because you never know where you'll end up or where they end up.
Yeah, and just make sure that it's genuine.
Of course.
That you're not just brown nosing, just so you can get the next job.
You
do it because you want to know people in this business and you want to learn from them. And ultimately it does wind up paying off, because they may not hire you, but they might know somebody that knows somebody that, it's wild how some of those connections, and I've hired people myself based on just, the recommendations of somebody that I've had a good relationship with down the road.
Wow. That's really good. That's really good. Well, Mike, it was great talking to you. I really enjoyed this interview and getting to know you a little bit of the past few weeks, and hope we can stay in touch some kind of way.
Absolutely. Go Bobcats.
Oh, yes, sir. Go Bobcats.
Make the department proud of you.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Thank you so much, Mike.
Take care.
All right, take care.